we've talked a number of times about the intersection of music and gaming, and I personally could never really get behind any of them, mostly because I never knew who the collaboration was with. But this is one I personally could get behind. And the headline here is the BBC's first ever gaming prom is now available to watch. So the orchestral concert featured music from Kingdom Hearts and more. According to this, I didn't know the BBC did this. They do this thing called the Proms. Founded in 1895, it's a season of classical music concerts held every summer. And this time they did one called the Gaming Prom. It was performed by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and it featured music from Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Dear Esther, Shadow of the Colossus, Battlefield 2042, and more. I'm curious on the scale of sort of music collaborations with games. Do you guys like this? Is there not enough of this? And who is the audience for this in your mind? Meaning, do you think this reaches classical music fans and introduces them to games, or is it like only hardcore gamers who are maybe a bit older who would ever be interested in this? Jeff, you're laughing. Why?
I am laughing not about this.
Okay.
I'm laughing about a funny comment that Jimmy made to me.
Okay.
But this is up Jimmy's alley because Jimmy knows all about music.
Jimmy, you're the
So
music.
I'm going to pass it to Jimmy. I have
Nice,
no idea
nice
who wins
deflect.
here. The prom, Philharmonic, or esports. I always like this game, but in this one, I got to pass to my music guy.
Well, I mean, not just music, right? We're talking about alternative content and trying to broaden, I think, video game culture to a new application, right? Of what that content can look like. So, what I could say is 5 years ago, I was having meetings with top esports teams, ones that we've had on the show, ones that we've featured and talked about. And we were talking specifically about content like this. Like, can we take gaming culture, gaming personalities, and pair it with cooking? Can we pair it with competition and dance sing-offs and things of that nature? So, these are very slow-moving concepts. I think it took a while for mainstream to realize how large gaming was, even though we've all known it and been talking about it for years. We still have people in traditional film and entertainment, traditional sports that didn't quite realize that. And also a big reason to listen to our episode that we recorded today that will be out this week, Stream Hatchet, because so much of what they and our sponsor YouGov does really is kind of analyzing and explaining the viewership, the tendencies of these audiences, and how it's different from traditional media, traditional advertisement. So, anyways, when you go into tapping into this new audience, right, a digital focus and a digital first audience, and then try and pair it and do a crossover with music or sports or other entertainment, it's a really novel concept. It's a really cool thing that there will be more of and there should be more of. Right now, we've only really seen application of gaming IP, right, in film and entertainment. So now you're actually seeing, I think, the next iteration of that through this gaming prom show. Honestly, I just hope it's a success so that there's more of it. I'm not definitely the audience that would watch this, but these types of shows are so popular, and current audiences are getting older, and the younger audiences are now becoming more valuable targets, right, with dollars to spend for advertisers. So I don't really have anything against this, honestly. I think, like I said, it's been a long time coming. I'm glad to see that there is something here. It's a scary thing, right? Because if it's not done right, or if it has even the slightest negative backlash, that could literally halt the entire area of innovation and of alternative content. So no one wants to be the first, right? You always want to be a fast follow here. So this is going to be an interesting thing to keep track of. But yeah, I hope it does well.
Lindsay, this is the best music gaming collaboration you've ever seen, right? This is the pinnacle.
I was just thinking, like, of course, Paul's bougie self is like, the Philharmonic is finally playing the songs I like. I like Jimmy's take on this, but I'm definitely less, I guess, bullish on it or less excited about it. Not in terms of I'm actually a huge symphony fan myself, and I think that this is a really cool collaboration. But I don't know that this like moves the needle in any way. I think that hardcore gaming fans will listen and will be excited about it, and I think classical music fans will listen and be excited about it. But I don't know that any of those audiences will then be pushed in the other direction to support the other thing. Like, if that makes sense. I think that the fans who are there because they like gaming will interact with these types of things and leave. The fans who are there because they like music will interact with these types of things and leave. I don't think you're going to see like a lot of cross pollination of those audiences post these kinds of activations. Obviously,
Yeah.
that being said, I still think it's worth doing stuff like this because I think it'll be a successful, like, kind of one-time event. And I don't know if one time's the right word, but insular event maybe is the better word. Insular event where you can do this maybe year after year or whatever, but it's not something that brings you a lot outside of the event itself. So it's
Yeah,
really
you
cool.
don't
I'm
have
glad they're doing it, but
you don't have thousands of like hardcore Philharmonic fans who all of a sudden are going to be like, "Oh, I should really check out Battlefield," right? Like because of the soundtrack. Chris says the Venetian held a Legend of Zelda orchestra that sold out a room of 1,200 back in 2015. Metarama, not so much of a success. This will work. Yeah, I think this will work. And the choices are smart, and I think the format makes sense. And you will fill a room of gaming fans who just want to hear the music at that kind of scale.